All right, we are recording. I apologize in advance for anything my crazy coworkers say in the background.
It's
All
okay.
right, so I have it set to solid black, but if I go to edit type, I can modify that. We duplicate it, and I'm going to change it to white. Solid white. All right, and now I can change this fill color from black to white. Keep in mind that if I wanted a different pattern, I could also change the fill pattern, and I could choose from any of these. So whether I need, plaster, gypsum, masonry, plywood, sand, all these are available in this. We're just going to do white for now.
Okay.
So, and I want to draw my siding. And I can start by saying, all right, it's a 6-inch piece. It's 3/4 inches at the top. And we're going to say, I'm just going to say 1/4 inch because it's lapped, right?
Yeah.
So when it's lapped, that means that it's like thicker at the bottom than it is at the top. So let's say we did that. And now I can take this piece and just copy it down. And anytime I need to show siding, I could just use this
Okay.
this same region. And that kind of saves you the trouble of this, of like uploading all the uninstalling, reinstalling stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
really, it's not going to help you too much. It makes more, like, see there, you go, that looks pretty good. It makes more sense for you to just look at a picture you like and then copy it. So I'm going to pull up one.
Would it have to be, wouldn't it have to be like a similar wall type to mine? Or no?
What do you mean?
Like, because I have
I'm going
the
to pull that up right now.
Okay.
All right, cool. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, so like you see here, what we're looking for is like this, except we don't have that jog right here, like the floor doesn't come over. So your stone is going to be outside of the siding with a sill, which looks more like, sorry, this is like Google image searching here. Yep, this is the one. Yours is going to look pretty much exactly like this. So you'll have the stone coming up, you'll have the siding on top of that. I'm going to send you this.
With the concrete blocks as well at the bottom.
Well, you are a cast in place concrete.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it'll look more like concrete than that. Here, I will give you this link. All right, and you can scroll down that. I'm just going to put this in the chat so you have it.
Okay.
And then let's go back to your screen now. So what you really end up doing is looking at the picture and then just kind of copying what you see, but you don't use the components, you just use regions and lines. It's sort of like the way that AutoCAD works. So like down here, you would go to filled region. We already have solid white selected, and you can just do brick. Typical brick height is 3 5/8 with, and the 3/8 is the mortar. Ooh, that's too much. I think it's, actually, I gotta look that up.
Okay.
Nominal brick size. And you don't have to be perfect on this. You can just show it
Mhm.
in a quarter.
And I have stone. Is that like the same measurement?
I would say no, it's not the same. However, for your purposes, you're just trying to show a proxy.
Okay.
Something that sort of looks like it, but is not exactly it. Because, oh, Christ.
Yeah.
All right, now we've got this, and it's
Sorry.
no, you're fine, no worries. All right, and then what we would do is copy this up. Joint is probably going to be 5/8, right? And then so you would just do this to draw in the elements.
Mhm.
Don't forget to add in the mortar. And it's not ideal, you know, of course you want to use the detail components, but because you're using the educational version and they're giving you a hard time with it, like I would just do it this way. It's good practice. You'll learn the pieces and it'll give you more control to make it look exactly like the picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than trying to get a component and be like, I don't know what even I'm looking for, what is it in, all that.
Okay.
So that's
So
the region, filled region, you know, come in here, pick which one you want, and then draw from that. Ideally, you would want all of it to be a filled region or something, and then you hide the wall behind. In my firm, it's pretty standard that they'll check your model, and if you have to hide all the modeled components and only have detail elements in your 2D drawings.
okay. So would I bring the brick all the way like up to this line right here?
Well, I think that there's a couple different details on that. So on the detail that I just sent you, you have, the way it works is this. I'm just gonna annotate this. Oh, what the hell? It won't let me control and annotate at the same time. Okay, so the way it works in the detail that I just sent you is this foundation wall is actually out to here, comes over.
Are you like drawing something? Oh, I
Can you
see it now.
see? Can you see?
Yeah, I see it.
This brick comes down to here. And then this floor framing is like resting like that. And that's kind of typical. So probably would be most likely is your foundation wall comes to here. Your brick comes to here. And then your wood framing starts in here.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to, like, when you start detailing, you begin to notice that it kind of like demystifies the process because you're like, oh, it all stacks. It's like Legos, like everything
Mm-hmm.
kind of has to nest inside of everything else. Everything sort of has to make sense. So as you're drawing it, be like, how would I actually stack a piece of wood on top of a foundation? Like, how would the brick actually stack on top of the foundation? And then just constantly look at details and figure out what you want. This is a little bit weird because you have this poured foundation and then you have brick on the outside. If your
Yeah.
goal was to bring brick all the way down, like you'd want it to look like brick all the way down to the grade, you would need a little bit different detail. Huh. The Google Images is totally like your best friend when you're doing this.
Okay.
Just constantly be searching that and looking at like, okay, what detail makes the most sense? Like here you see the poured foundation with the stone coming all the way down to it. It's kind of like the floor comes up a little higher, but we want to go further than that. Like you have a high foundation wall. So how do we accommodate that? Here's the drawing that I showed you where the
Oh, okay.
wall's notched out and then your floor is framed on top of it. There's wall flashing. This is a masonry foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Siding comes down to here, which kind of looks like what you guys are actually trying to do with your building, but I don't think that's what Mr. Cannon wants.
Yeah.
Here's the view from before. Here is an example where the wall is in line, with the foundation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have a metal lath, that goes up the wall. You have your mortar, and then you have a veneer. You have a veneer that's it's thin stone. It's not like the actual thickness. And then that veneer goes all the way up until you get to the siding.
Okay.
I think that's no, that's not that example. Well, it is sort of like this example because here is that veneer. So you just kind of like keep check. Here you go. You have your poured foundation, you have your brick up to the bottom of the floor, and then you have your siding down to the top of the brick. So just keep looking at different pictures. Here's the sill detail at the top of the brick, and just try to copy exactly what you see. And it's helpful because like if you look at this, sorry, it's got all the words too.
Mm-hmm.
You can't quite read them, but that's helpful because then you can label it just the way you see it.
Okay.
This damn thing is like all in my way. So that's sort of the detailing part. And you can do that with the filled regions or the detail lines. You can use the detail components too, but if you don't have them, I think it's just going to be easier for you to draw it than it is going to be for us to like go through all the process of trying and selling it. I've done it in the past and I can, after we get off this call, I'll take a look and see if I can find like a quick fix for you.
Okay.
But it might even just be easier for me to send you a model that has all the detail elements in it, and then you can copy them in as you need it.
Okay, yeah.
It's another option I could do as well. So I can try that later.
Okay. Well, I'm just working on these for now.
Okay, that's cool. Any other questions or anything?
No, not right now. Well, I've been working on the kitchen, but
Ooh, man, that's a good shot. That's a really good shot. So what a lot of us have been talking about this week, like we talked about in class, I don't know if you and I talked about this, but with this picture, I'm sorry, did I cut you off, by the way? What were you getting ready to say?
no, I don't remember.
Okay. So with this picture, we can come over to here to rendering, or right here, rendering. And then we can actually see what this would look like with the correct light. I'm going to set this to printer. I'm gonna do interior sun only. And
Oh,
let's see what it looks like. Typically, it takes a little bit of time to render because what it's actually doing is calculating the reflection and refraction of the light in the room.
oh, okay.
You have a really complete model here, so I think you're going to get some interesting outcomes. Don't forget to trim this little piece of roof back so that you don't see it.
Okay.
Just a thought there. Great cabinetry work though, really good countertops. Everything there looks really great. Nice job.
Thank you. I'm still working on them.
So this looks really cool. I think this looks really cool. One reason why everything is showing up grayed out is because right now you currently haven't really set all of the appearances yet. And I can show you how to do that, but this is like looking really sharp. Don't you
That's
think?
really cool.
Super cool. I'm going to see what this turns out like, and then I'll give you a little more background on it.
Okay.
See, it takes a little bit of time to render these. When they rendered the first Toy Story, it took 2 weeks to render 1 second of that movie.
Oh my God.
And that's just the computer processing time. That's like not any of the animation or design, just time for the computer. It would run for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Computers sucked back then.
Yeah, they did.
And so like I would recommend just setting up a couple of views like this. I can tell that you utilize the 3D view to get the feeling that you want. And it really shows. I think that this is like really outstanding interior environment. I just want to let this wrap up here. It goes slower the longer it takes, the more passes it does. It does 5 passes. It's on its 4th pass right now. Its 5th pass will take longer than the other 4 passes combined, but should be just another minute or so. So what you can do, and I'll show you this in a minute, is go into the appearance and load in, just like we did for the exterior stone.
Yeah.
Load in appearances for the wall colors, and you can go through and paint all that. And just in the way that this table has reflectivity and texture, you can do the same. I mean, that's one of the most incredible things about this is like the reflection.
Yeah, it looks really realistic.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I would recommend just spending some time with like, especially on the floor. Like if you were to add that same floor material to the floor here, that would look phenomenal. You know,
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to do that.
I can show you a quick process on that. Quick process.
Okay.
And we'll try and see what that looks like. Still rendering. Basically what you end up doing is just painting. I think you could just paint the floor first, figuring out what the table's made out of, then painting the floor with that same material should do the trick.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let this finish because I want to show you one more piece to this. Have you done any of your sheet layouts yet? Your A101, A102, A103, all that stuff?
We've done the first floor plan and the elevations, but that's about it.
All right, all right. It's not too hard. You kind of just drag and drop it from the, okay, so now you can see your interior looks awesome. I think you did a really great job setting up this scene. You can adjust the exposure here if like, oh, I just want it like a little bit brighter. And you can do all that here. I'm just gonna leave it the way it was because I think it looks great. I'm gonna save this to the project. It's gonna save it as a 3D kitchen view. You can also export it and it like you can save it to like your desktop or whatever. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
So I'll close this. And now a new section is opened up in the project browser, renderings. And it's created this view. And then we go to your cover sheet. We could, oh, nice, nice. This looks awesome. Good job.
Thank you. I wasn't sure if I did it right.
No, I think you did a good job there. we could go to our renderings and drag this over and it will show that view. So it's just like any other thing. Once you've saved to project, it'll show up here in renderings, and then you can drag it onto a sheet with a label and everything. So
Okay.
that's
I can also, should I also do that for like the front of the house view? Like,
you could. So if we were looking at the first floor, you would do just as we did on the interior. It'd be like, all right, bam. And,
oh, okay.
you know, once you put a ground plane in, you could always just pull this up. I'd put a ground plane in if I were you, but
Yeah.
you know, then you could render this out and that'll look good.
Okay.
Very good. And what I was talking about before is you'll know what your inside looks like. Instead of setting it to consistent colors, like 3D view of kitchen, we have it set to realistic, but it doesn't have any of the materials. Like there's no materials in there. So let's say we want to paint this floor. Look at this table, which is a family. And I'm just going to click in there and I want to see what that color is. We can't edit from this view, but that's okay. We're just going to use the paint tool instead. So I'm going to go to paint. I'm going to look for a wood color. I like that you added in some new materials and everything. Nice job there. Lag.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Would renderings cause it to lag or no?
Yeah, it pretty much slows everything down because there's like a graphics component.
Okay.
Okay, chair leg wood. Chair white fabric. No. Are the chairs and the tables two different things?
Oh, I downloaded it from Rev City. I think, yeah, I think they are different.
All right. I just want to try to find that. I like that color of that table.
Yeah.
And I can't open it up to see from this view.
Maybe in the 3D view?
If we go like this and then hit selection box, now we got the table. So we want to figure out what that material is. Okay. And this material is called damn, this is frustrating.
Yeah.
There we go. Table, wood, top. Let's see if we have that in our model. Paint. All right, we got it. So you saw what I did there. I kind of like tracked down the material that was made out of, and now we'll just paint that right to the floor.
Well, that's cool.
So when we go back to our 3D kitchen view, now we have that material. And I'm like so curious to see what this looks like. So we come back to render. I'm going to set it to draft just because it's kind of a lot going on in there. 150 ton only. The draft will go a little bit faster, but it won't have the same quality. That's okay. I just want to see what it looks like.
And you use the paint tool to
yeah, I just use the paint tool, but you could also adjust the floor type so that it has that in there as well. Oh yeah, huge difference, right?
Yeah, it's really glossy.
Looks really glossy. I mean, you might not want it to be so strong. We can adjust that under the material settings. I just want to see what this looks like when it's done. Come on, come on. Awesome. So like if you were to adjust it to have a higher resolution, it would get rid of some of the graininess, but you can already see that this is looking like pretty realistic.
Yeah.
Photorealism, really nice. Nice job on that kitchen, by the way. I think this is
Thank
really like one of the biggest success stories of your project.
you. Yeah.
So let's say we wanted to edit that material. We could go into manage materials. And we're going to find that table material. Wood top. And we're going to adjust the appearance. And right now it's finishes semi-gloss varnish. Maybe we want it to be like not so glossy. We could like knock it back to satin. And now when we go to render it, it'll probably look like exactly the same, but we go to render it this time, drafts, all the settings are the same. See what it looks like. So the renderings were kind of like what the lesson plan was going to be for this week, just talking about how to do that. I would encourage you to just keep, it looks like you're pretty good in this area. So I would continue to do it. These are the really like inspiring shots of your project. They get everybody excited. So
Yeah.
continue to work on that if you can. All right, cool. And it looks like it kind of dialed back that finish, but it still has some reflectivity, which
Yeah.
I think that looks great now. You know what I mean? And then you could do the same thing with other materials in the project. And now we're getting into the area of interior design and like finishes, fixtures. I just think you should continue to develop that. Really nice job there.
Okay. And would I do like the same process for the wall? For the walls?
You could pick your own materials in that case. But what you do if you were trying to, you know, make custom materials, you just go to manage materials and then you could either create new or whatever. If I go to create new,
Oh, and I can bring in an image?
you can bring in an image. So like if you're doing a wall covering or a wallpaper or a tile. If we create a new one and now come to appearance, you can adjust the reflectivity, you can adjust the transparency, the tint, all those things you could do here. If I wanted to set this to be like this, like, what's a good wall color? God, I don't even know. Make it like burnt sienna color. Press OK. We're gonna bump the reflectivity. No. Turn on reflectivity. I'm gonna make this real low. I don't want it to be too high. Maybe like 6. Like 5. Reflectivity is strong. Press OK. So all I did there was just create a new material. Now I'm gonna just paint the wall rather than change the wall structure.
Okay.
I didn't rename it, so it's gonna be here under default. What did I call it? Default new material. Here we go. Should be that orange color.
Oh, okay.
Awesome, awesome. Now, when we go to render that, view, render. And you could add all kind of, you know, texture to it. I would add an image to it and you can the image. It's pretty much infinitely configurable.
Okay.
So I just want to see how it looks. I'm like excited about your kitchen. It looks awesome. I just keep smashing that render button.
Yeah. I'm not sure what color to do the walls.
You can see there's like a little bit of reflectivity in it. Barely showing the outline of the other walls, but it kind of makes it look a little off. It can help to brighten up the room a bit. But there's like this feeling of something even more happening in your kitchen. I mean, this is just super sharp. Love the way this came together. But I'll leave it to you to pick the colors.
Okay.
I just think if I were you, I would just, fill in the door color,
Mm.
uh, figure out what you want to do with this wall. Maybe do like you could do like a tile under here,
Yeah.
you know?
If I wanted to do like a backsplash, wouldn't that color the entire wall? How would I like
It
separate?
would, but we could also do this. So I'm gonna just select. So the paint tool is like, looks like this soccer ball, right?
Mhm.
Right here. Above that, split face.
Okay.
If we pick split face and we select this wall, select this wall, now it lets us say, okay, I want to just paint right here. Now you want to go from the orange line, damn it. Or, we'll just do this area. Draw from the top of the backsplash over.
Mhm.
You got some kind of weird snap on yours thing that keeps like trying to snap it to everything around. I'm not sure what that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we do that. And now we can paint just specific areas.
Oh, okay.
That's split face, split face. Bamboo. Sorry, the lag is like horrible.
Oh, okay.
So that might not be the color you want, but it shows in the right area. And then
Okay.
it changes everywhere. So we can come back to kitchen view. And now you've got that
Mm.
material.
Okay.
Awesome. Any other questions or anything for this session? Or do you want to try to work on that? And then I guess you guys are presenting next week, but I'm happy to meet with you, tomorrow, over the weekend, or early next week if you need more help.
Okay. Yeah, I think I don't have any more questions right now.
All right, cool. Cool,
I'm just
cool.
gonna
So
work on this.
yeah, work on the wall sections. Make sure you check Google Images and just copy wall sections that you see. Try to get through that process. Shoot me an email if you have any questions on that, and then continue to work on your renderings, because I think that you have like a good level of detail and it's really
Okay.
going to show in your rendering. So,
Okay.
oh, by the way, if you want to take off a paint color, you just drop the drop down caret next to the paint tool, remove paint.
Oh, okay.
That way you don't have to paint over top of it with like 100
Yeah.
layers. All right, great. Thanks for your time, and just shoot me an email if you need anything else. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.